what are the injury implications?
Yo, all day fam, what's good, y'all? Feels like it's been a minute. All right, so you already know what time it is. We're gonna go to the Sunday night football recap, or reaction for all games. So we definitely gonna get into Sunday night football. So I'm gonna get in. It was the Vikings and the Cowboys, and let me see. So I predicted the Vikings to beat the Cowboys 34-23. I wasn't too far. I mean, well, actually I was off because I said the Cowboys is gonna put up 23 points, and the Cowboys didn't do that. What the Cowboys did was put up how many points? What was the score? Hold on, what was the score? Let me hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Here we go. Monday night football. Sunday night football. Okay, well, yeah. No, I mean I wasn't too far off. All right, yeah. So I said 34-20. Oh snap! Yo, I was kind of like almost hit it right I almost hit the nail on the head. So I said 34-23. Vikings beats the Cowboys. Vikings beat, but the Cow in reality, Cowboys beat the Vikings. The Vikings beat the Cowboys 34-26. And let's see here. In the first quarter, both teams scored 7 points. Second quarter, both teams scored 10 points. It was a fairly even game, first and second quarter. Third quarter, Vikings put up 7. Cowboys put up only 6 points. And then the fourth quarter, the Vikings won the fourth quarter. They finished it. They put up 10 points. The Cowboys only put up 3 points. So the total 34-26. And that was in Dallas. That was at the Cowboys Stadium. And the Dallas Cowboys, they are what they always have been. I honestly don't think there should be any surprise because I mean, here's the thing. The Dallas Cow I mean, I've never really been a huge fan of Dallas ever. I never thought that the Dallas Cowboys were a good team, and for years I never thought that. I've always thought they had great players. I always thought they had, yeah, they always had great players, but outside of that, I've never the Cowboys has always been an inconsistent team. They've always been the type of team that they're America's team. So they're going to very any little thing that the Dallas Cowboys does is going to be exaggerated. It's going to be like it's going to blossom. It's going to be magnified because they're America's team. And you know that that's a bad thing for a team to have because for the most part, the players could even buy into the hype. And the players, I think it affects the players subconsciously. I mean, because think about it. The proof is in the pudding. It's affecting the Dallas Cowboys as players subconsciously. It has always been for years, for decades. I mean, the Cowboys has since the '90s. The Cowboys has lived. They have showed up for nothing. Like they have. That's not the word I'm looking for. They lived up to nothing. That's the word I'm looking for. They have lived up to nothing. The Dallas Cowboys has always been overrated, and that's that. And this was the same result this year. They were playing well for a few games. George Pickens was looking dangerous, looking like one of the best receivers in the league. And now all of a sudden, George Pickens is nowhere to be found, and the Dallas Cowboys is playing like trash. They're a very inconsistent football team, and they should have beat the Vikings. Well, they should have beat the Vikings, but I knew they weren't going to beat the Vikings. I predicted the Vikings to win. I predicted the Vikings to beat them 34-23, and the Vikings beat them to 34-26. So that was, I already knew what the result was going to be. But the thing about it is that the Cowboys they have the personnel now. There's really no excuses. There's no excuses for Dak Prescott. There's no excuses for the Cowboys. There's no excuses at all. And they still just play like trash. Like that's it has to be extremely frustrating to be a Cowboys fan because you fire these head coaches, you get these new players, you what is the reason? The reason is that I don't know. Like everybody can't figure out what the reason is. A lot of people blame Jerry Jones. I used to be one of the people who used to blame Jerry Jones. But now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, is Jerry Jones really is the problem? Is he really the problem? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like Brian Schottenheimer. I like him as a coach. We could say as a coach the problem. Maybe everything is a problem. This everything. Maybe just playing in Dallas is the problem. That entire franchise organization, from the owner all the way down to the janitor, that there's a problem. The culture. The culture of that franchise is the problem. It was the same thing with the Chargers. You need a culture changer. Now, I think Brian Schottenheimer can be that, but we gotta have to see how far is Jerry Jones going to let him go. We're going to have to see is Jerry Jones going to fully give him the key to the entire vehicle and let him spin that damn car. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's going to take for the Dallas Cowboys to become great again. They're going to need a hard nosed, experienced, great coach, and even maybe a Hall of Fame coach, and to change that entire culture around. Or a coach that's going to be to have a Hall of Fame trajectory. Can Brian Schottenheimer do that? Maybe. I mean, I definitely felt like his dad was. I don't even know if his dad a Hall of Famer. I mean, because I remember his dad I'm a diehard Chargers fan, so I remember Marty Schottenheimer, and I was, and let me tell you, man, I loved Marty, and I was mad that we got rid of Marty Schottenheimer. Let me see something. I want to see, is Marty Schottenheimer a Hall of Famer? Let me see. You gotta find that out. You gotta find that out. Is Marty? Let's see. Is he a Hall of Famer? He should be a Hall of, but no, he's not a Hall of Famer. So Marty Schottenheimer's resume. This is Brian Schottenheimer's dad. He was a 200 career wins regular season. That's eighth all time among NFL head coaches. He had a .613 winning percentage, elite over a long career. Took four different franchises to the playoffs: Browns, Chiefs, Chargers, Redskins. Turned around losing coaches everywhere he went. Creator of Marty Ball, physical, disciplined, mistake, adverse football. That's Hall of Fame impact, full stop. So why he's not, which is the painful part, Marty Schottenheimer has no Super Bowl appearances. He has a 5-13 playoff record. I remember some of them games because the Chargers could never get it done in the playoffs. It was always the case. Never get it. And that was probably the reason why the Chargers got rid of him, because he just couldn't get it done in the playoffs. Let's see. The narrative became great coach can't win the big one. I mean, that's kind of an unfortunate thing to have as a coach. It's not a good title to have. So this is, but they say, which is lazy analysis, by the way. Football is the ultimate team game. Timing, front office, sport, and Marty often ran into dynasties, had conservative quarterbacks, or got kneecapped by ownership decisions, which was the main one thing why the Chargers. So that's the thing. Like, I mean, the thing about it is what might happen from Marty Schottenheimer might be the same result with Brian Schottenheimer. I mean, the Cowboys may have really good. The Cowboys may have very, 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 very good, regular season records, and then they just gonna be in the playoffs and they just get booted out, by a better dominant team. And that was the case with Marty. I mean, let's see, 2006 Chargers, when Marty Schottenheimer was coaching the Chargers. They again had a 14-2 record, best team in the league, lost a fluky playoff game. Ownership fires him anyway. That decision still ages like spoiled milk. It didn't. So right now, Marty Schottenheimer, he's not inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So it's frequently discussed as a senior. He's frequently discussed as a senior committee candidate, and he's widely respected by coaches and players and other football play people. But it's gonna. The time will tell if Marty Schottenheimer will ever make it to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So Marty Schottenheimer, he was a culture builder, and I think everybody agrees that how great of a coach Marty Schottenheimer was. Even though he had no Super Bowl appearances, he had a losing record in the playoffs. But again, back in those days, especially when Marty Schottenheimer was coaching for the Chargers, he always ran into elite quarterbacks. He always ran into elite. He ran into dynasties. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the Colts, the Patriots. So I'm not gonna say it's an excuse, but there's a reason why he didn't go all the way through. Now, with that being said, I mean, when you got Phillip Rivers, Phillip Rivers is no Peyton Manning or no Tom Brady, but that team that the Chargers had back in '06 was dangerous. That was the best team in the NFL at that time, and we didn't even win a playoff game. So, I mean, that type of stuff is very, I have to say, it is, man, it's a letdown. It's a letdown, and it's frustrating because it's like we have all this talent and we have nothing to show for it. and that's why it's always been frustrating being a Charger fan. Always have been, and thank God we got Jim Harbaugh now. Jim Harbaugh, more than likely, arguably, is a better coach than Marty, arguably, because I would have to say that Jim Harbaugh has had a better. I mean, to be honest with you, Jim Harbaugh and Marty Schottenheimer are almost kind of like almost the same type of coaches. I mean, you talk about Marty Ball, you talk physical, discipline, mistake adverse football. That's definitely Jim Harbaugh. That's Jim Harbaugh right there. You know what I'm saying? Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball though, and Jim Harbaugh loves his team being playing very intense. If y'all saw how the Chargers played against the Chiefs, you saw how they played against the Eagles. They out physical that team. That was literally the only reason why they beat the Eagles. That was literally the reason why they beat the Chiefs. They out physical the Chiefs. They knocked Mahomes out of the game. So I think that I like Brian Schottenheimer. He's really the only thing of the Cowboys that I like. I like the Cowboys coach. I think the Cowboys is going to always make noise in the regular season, but it's going to be remain to be seen that if the Cowboys can be a good playoff team, that's going to remain to be seen. And I think Brian Schottenheimer has it. But like I said, I think the only thing that's going to hold Brian Schottenheimer back is Jerry Jones. So we're going to have to see. I mean, and I could say Dak Prescott and also because Dak Prescott ain't it. He's always been overrated to me. I've never really been that big on Dak Prescott. Don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback. When he plays well, I give him his flowers. When he plays bad, I sometimes I give him, I say I have to criticize him. I critique him. But sometimes, I think I critique Dak Prescott fairly well. I think I critique all these quarterbacks fairly well. All the players that I watch, I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have anything personal against any of these players, but I'm going to give you my honest opinion. And, and Dak Prescott has always been that quarterback to never. He's like the Dallas Cowboys. He is the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, he's great sometimes, and then when you need him the most, he's very inconsistent. I think the only good playoff game I have seen Dak Prescott play well in was when he beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I can't remember what the score was, but I would think that was like Tom Brady's last game, and the Bucs defense was terrible. That was the only good playoff game that I saw Dak Prescott play well in. All the other playoff games he has played trash. And again, you had a lot of analysts. They praise Dak Prescott. They act like he's such a great player, but he's not. He's a good quarterback, and we'll just leave it at that. He's not great. I don't think Dak Prescott will ever be great. I think the chance for Dak Prescott to have been a great quarterback has passed us. I don't think he will ever be a great quarterback. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still young. How old is Dak Prescott? Let me see how Dak Prescott is. Let me see. Give me a second. Let me find out how old this dude is. I mean, I think he's probably in his 30s. I mean, but yeah, he's 32. Oh, wait. Yeah, he's 32. So he'll be 33 next year in July. But the thing about it is that I think Dak Prescott holds the Cowboys. I think the quarterback and the owner is going to hold the Cowboys back from being a good, at least a good playoff team. They're always going to do well in the regular season. They're our regular season team. But other than that, when they get to the playoffs, they're going to lose. They're going to lose first round, and and that's going to be always going to be the case. I think as long as Jerry Jones is alive, or the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and I think for as long as Jerry Jones be the Dallas Cowboys, it's going to be as long as he's alive, because over his dead body, he will give the Dallas Cowboys up. And Dak Prescott, now I maybe they trade him, maybe they end up getting rid of him one of these days, but it's obviously he's not the quarterback. He's very inconsistent, and it's tiring to me that when Dak Prescott plays well for consecutive games, the media automatically just says he's the best quarterback in the league. I've literally, and I'm not just saying this, I've literally watched podcasts. I've watched The Arena. I've watched other podcasts when they will say that, oh, Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind right now. He's the best quarterback in the league. When Dak Prescott was never the best quarterback in the league at all this year. Never was. Now, I would say he was probably there was some weeks when he was top 5, maybe top 6, but he was never just point blank the best quarterback in the league. Matthew Stafford has been playing way too well this year for us to just automatically say Dak Prescott was the best quarterback in the league. I wouldn't even put him over Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has been going through way more adversity than Dak Prescott has been, and I will say that Justin Herbert has been playing, given what Justin Herbert has been facing, he has been playing much better than Dak Prescott this year. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, there's really no reason for the Dallas Cowboys to be playing this bad. They were really against the Vikings and the other last week. There's really no reason. They have a good offensive line. They have a pretty good running game, Javonte Williams. They have two great wide receivers. We were all saying that he has the best wide receiver tandem in the entire NFL. Some people were saying that the receiver, that George Pickens is better than CeeDee Lamb. Some people will make that as an argument, and I think that is a very valuable, solid argument. So you have two alpha number one wide receivers, not 1A, 1B, not 1A, 1B like not the Vikings. Yeah, like the Vikings or the Bengals. Because I don't think everybody would think that T. Higgins is going to automatically be an alpha anywhere he goes. But T. Higgins is a pretty really good wide receiver. Now we're talking about two wide receivers for the Dallas Cowboys that, if they are consistent, they could be Hall of Fame wide receivers in George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? So what is the excuse? What is the excuse why the Cowboys are so inconsistent and trash? Like Dak Prescott, inconsistent and trash some games. What is the excuse? So I really don't want to hear any more about Dak Prescott being the best quarterback in the league. I don't ever want to hear that. And I don't want to hear anything about how the Dallas Cowboys can give other teams a run for their money when they go to the playoffs. I've heard that. I never thought that because I already know how the Cowboys are. So let's just kill that, man. Let's just kill the noise with the Dallas Cowboys. And obviously people are going to stop doing it this year. I'm talking about let's do it for the foreseeable future. Let's kill the noise about how great the Cowboys is going to be. Let's see. Let's see how the regular season is going to play out. Let's see if they can win a playoff game. And then we can start talking. And then not only win a playoff game, how they won that playoff game. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing about the playoffs. When you go to the playoffs, you're playing the competition. The competition in the NFL is already high. It has already accelerated. There's already, you know what I'm saying? It's already intense and like more intense and more elite than any league in the world in the NFL. But now that intensity, that physicality, that competitiveness of the NFL, it advances a little bit more when you get to the playoffs. It's already hard to win just a regular season NFL game. It becomes 10 times harder when you get to the playoffs because it's the playoffs. And now you're playing against the elite of the elite. You know what I'm saying? Which is a playoff football. So let's see how successful the Cowboys is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Not only the regular season, in the playoffs. So on this channel, you will never hear me praise the Cowboys as if they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I will never predict the Cowboys to even go to the Super Bowl on this channel. Because I love doing predictions, and I love doing predictions before the regular season and picking my Super Bowl picks. I will never, ever pick the Cowboys prior to the regular season going to the Super Bowl. Because I just know how they are. They will more than likely be the only team that will be out of my mind when I'm thinking about what team goes to the playoffs. I don't care how great. I don't care about their personnel. I don't care about anything. As long as Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones is on the Cowboys, I will never pick them because I think really those are the two people that's holding them back. Now, if Jerry Jones gets a better quarterback than Dak Prescott, like an elite quarterback, okay, I might change my mind on that. Even if Jerry Jones is the owner, I might change my mind. You know what I'm saying? But we got to see, though. We got to see. I think that they need to move on from Dak Prescott, I guess is where I'm getting at. I think Dak Prescott's course has ran out for the Dallas Cowboys. If I was the owner, I would look beyond Dak. He's too inconsistent, because even I really can't even put the blame on Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is not out there playing the game. He's not out there calling the plays. He's not doing that. He's in the media. He's bringing the players in and out, And sometimes I will say that he's in the coach's ear, but I highly doubt he's in the coach's ear during the game. You see what I'm saying? So we can't even really put any blame on Jerry Jones. So we gotta I have to say it's all on Dak. It's all on the quarterback. And for decades now, the quarterback has always been average or at least or good, but very inconsistent. We were talking about before Dak, when we talk about Tony Romo. It's always been the case with the Dallas Cowboys. It's the same thing. The Dallas Cowboys has always, like I said, they're kind of like the Chargers. Well, prior to Jim Harbaugh, have this elite team, have this great team, and Hall of Fame players, and lived up the show up for nothing. Like the Cowboys has never been short of elite players, never have, and they always end up short in the playoffs. When you talk about the Chargers, the Chargers, Sean Merriman, Lights Out, Quentin Jammer, Kenny McCardell, Darren Sproles, LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, the list goes on. Jamal Williams. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about the Hall of Fame and the talent that the Sean Phillips, that the not the Dallas Cowboys, that the San Diego Chargers at that time that they had. I grew up watching this team. I grew up watching all this. I grew up watching football in general. But I'm just saying, I've been a diehard Chargers fan since 2004, since I've been 14. That's when I started watching football. That's when I started playing football. But I mean, the Cowboys, it shows. It's a damn shame, man. It's a damn shame, like them losing this game. Even though I predicted them to lose this game, but I kind of already was just like, when I predicted them to lose, I'm thinking in my mind, they should win this. They should win this game. But I already knew how they were. That's why I predicted them to lose 34-23. And I was 3 points off by how many points they was going to put up. They lost 34-26. You see what I'm saying? And I haven't been watching football for the past since I haven't been watching football since the beginning of October. Because I'm in school for a neuromuscular therapist, and pushing to be and also when would it go to become a chiropractor. So it's a lot of studying, it's a lot of classes that I have to take, and I actually just cannot watch the games. Like sometimes if I have the time, I'll watch them on my phone during class or in and out of my class during breaks. But outside of that, I really can't watch the games. I end up watching them like on Monday or Tuesday, like during the week. Because I have Sunday Night Football. I have not Sunday Night Football, NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. So, but I still know how most of these players are. I know how the game is played. I understand the game. So, and I mean, I played the game, and I know guys who's actually in the league. Like I have actually childhood friends who are in the league. Like Tony Jefferson. Like he's basically like my cousin. I mean, he's been a friend of mine. His family been a friend of my family since we been children. Like his mother was literally my mother's best friend. Like they grew up together, and me and Tony Jefferson pretty much grew up together prior to me leaving San Diego. Because I was born and raised in San Diego, but my dad was in the military. I moved. We moved to DC and yada yada yada. But oh yeah, and speaking of Tony Jefferson, his younger brother, it's just so ironic. His younger brother, look out for his younger brother. Just I don't really talk college football on here, but I eventually will. His younger brother, Josiah Jefferson, tight end. He went to JUCO, and he was the number one tight end. Number one tight end in JUCO. And his brother decommuted from Utah, and now he's playing. Now he's going to be playing for USC next year. So if we have any USC fans, what I'm saying, on this channel, because y'all already know I'm a diehard USC fan. I'm a diehard Charger fan. If we got any USC fans out there, I think he's going to be really great. He's like, I think he's like 6'6", and it's like 230, 250 tight end. That's going to be a very big target for USC. Lincoln Riley. That's going to be a big toy for Lincoln Riley. So I'm definitely looking out for that. You know what I'm saying? I got two of my homies / cousins playing for both of my two favorite teams. You know what I'm saying? The Chargers and the USC Trojans. So that's going to be fun to see that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know how I got into that. But anyway, I was talking about the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings, how inconsistent and trash the Dallas Cowboys are. So, I mean, Dallas Cowboys are done. So if you got any Dallas Cowboy fans, on this channel, y'all already know how it is, man. My grandfather is a big time Dallas Cowboys fan, and I talk crap to him all the time, but it's a damn shame, man. Yeah, it can't be healthy being a Cowboys fan. Believe me, like I'm a Chargers fan, so I know the feeling. Like I don't know it. Like I'm not experiencing that anymore because thank God we got a great coach, and our owner he's not like a Jerry Jones. So like our owner was a very bad owner. Like Dean Spanos was a terrible owner, but I guess Dean Spanos was like, you know what? Let me get out of my own way and let me give the fans what they want. Let me hire Jim Harbaugh. Let me get Joe Ortiz. Let them both run the organization. That's what Dean Spanos did, and now you can see the results of the Los Angeles Chargers. If the owner could just get off the way and they can do their job, they can hire the right people and put them into their organization. Any team can just change right like that because a coach knows a great coach knows what he's doing. A great GM knows what he's doing. So is we like to say like, oh, are these franchises cursed and yada yada yada? No, it's not the franchise. It's really the owner. The owner knows, like the owner can get the right people in there. If he wants to, he can change that culture. Look at the Lions. Look at the Lions. I mean, they got brought in. The Lions was the laughing stock of the NFL for years. Forget years, decades, since the beginning of the NFL. Now look at the Lions. The Lions is a physical team. They're an elite team, and they go to the playoffs every year. They probably win a playoff game or two. You know what I'm saying? That's the Lions now. The Lions is a playoff team. The Lions was never thought of as a playoff team, ever. But look at that. Look at that culture change. It's all about the culture. Football is a momentum sport. Football is an emotional sport. You know what I'm saying? Football is a physical sport. Football is not that hard to really it's not that hard to really like understand. A lot of people think that football, the NFL, is how can I put it? Football is complicated, but football really isn't that complicated. It's not. It's really, for the most part, when you see these teams play, especially in the NFL, it's the team that's the most physical that's going to win. It's the team that executes the most that's going to win. The team that's more intense that's going to win. The team that's more obsessed is going to win. You know what I'm saying? More mentally tough. It's like playing football. You have to be more mentally tough than anything. You have to have a stupid amount of self-confidence than anything. So that's that, man. Let's keep it pushing, man. So that's what I gotta say about the Dallas Cowboys, and the Vikings, and JJ McCarthy. He was 15 to 24, 250 yards, 62.5 completion percentage, and he had 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. So JJ McCarthy, he's looking pretty good. Like he's playing well. I mean, yeah, he had 1 pick. He only had 1 pick. He's advancing. He's getting better. Now we have to understand about JJ McCarthy. He hasn't had that. I mean, he in the NFL he hasn't had that much playing time, and in college he wasn't hardly throwing the ball, but he's looking good right now. I mean, 15 out of 24, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. That's what we need to see out of JJ McCarthy. He wasn't looking that good early on this season, but we have to understand. We have to give him grace. He is still a very, very, very young quarterback, very inexperienced quarterback. And so that's another thing, and I want to remind you all every chance I get about how patient we have to be with young quarterbacks. It's very unfair for us. Oh, JJ McCarthy had 3 total touchdowns. I'm just seeing right now he had a rushing touchdown as well. He was 4 carries for 15 yards and a rushing touchdown. So he had a hell of a game. But let me stay on course. It's very unfair for us to crucify quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, especially young quarterbacks in the NFL if they're not playing well. It's very unfair for them. You have to remember, if you guys been watching football, since I'll say at least 2010, if you've been watching football, at least since then, you know that it takes a while for a quarterback to blossom. You know this. It takes years for a quarterback to blossom. It took years for Tom Brady to blossom. It took years for Peyton Manning to blossom. It took years for Aaron Rodgers to blossom. It's going to take years for all those quarterbacks to get better. So we can't just automatically just be like JJ McCarthy is trash. This dude is this is his 2nd year, and he's been facing injuries. So he had to have overcome a lot of injuries, first off. And then he had to, then because you really, when you play football, like when you get injured and you have a serious injury, you get knocked out the game, you have to focus on coming back. You really can't train how you want to train as a player. You really can't study how you want to study as a player because you have to focus on overcoming your injury. And nowadays, everybody's thinking like the whole entire organization, especially if you're the quarterback. And if you're quarterback and it's you're an elite player, everybody's trying to think like, can you come back sooner? So it's like, can you come back sooner? They're natural. They're more natural than the actual human being. So you all have to take that in consideration. That's a lot on a young player. And it's 10 times that more on a quarterback because you have to take in consideration how much a damn quarterback has to know. Like the quarterback, it's like the head coach, man. He has to know at least a great quarterback. He has to know everything. He has to know everything. He has to know what the defense is doing, especially what all of his offense is doing. And he has to know everything, man. And so even with that, if you're an elite quarterback, you should know everything about your defense, your offense, the entire defense on the opposite side. That's what made Tom Brady great. What made Tom Brady great was not only because he understood offense. What made Tom Brady great was that he understood defense more than anybody. He understood defense just as much or more, I would say more, than any defensive coach, probably in NFL history. That's why Tom Brady is the GOAT, because he understood defenses. So we gotta stop attacking these young quarterbacks and saying they're bust, they suck, yada yada yada. It's not fair and it's toxic. We gotta do better. If we're gonna analyze the game, if you're gonna be a fan, then whatever, be a fan. Nobody cares about you. You just write on the media, you look at highlights and you read stats and then go on and on and on. But if you actually if you really care about this game, if you are a spectator or analyst of this game, you have to be more responsible when you're judging these players, and especially when you're judging young quarterbacks. You got to be very responsible. So JJ McCarthy is playing well. Let's see if he could be consistent. And what I mean by being consistent, he's going to have to do this week in, week out. And if he doesn't, we're not going to hang him for it. We're going to see. I will tell you this. I give every young quarterback, I would give them at least 6 years. I'll give them 6 years. If they're not actually looking at least like they have at least have it together at least by 6 years. In 6 years, I'm like, okay, this dude is trash. He's out. But if he, so that's the thing. So I JJ McCarthy, and here's another thing too we have to take into consideration. When the quarterback goes to the combine, they're not really training to be an NFL player. They're not training to be a football player. They're training for the damn combine. That's why you got a lot of guys who skips the combine, because they're like, the combine means absolutely nothing to me. So I know a lot of guys get attacked from skipping the combine, but they already know the combine that testing does not evaluate how great you're going to be on the field. Like I don't know, like the combine is really nothing but show. I think the combine is really just for fans. You go out there, you run a 40, you run those. None of that stuff dictates how great a player is going to be. It just doesn't. Just because somebody runs fast doesn't mean they're going to be great. It's nonsense. Football is not a linear sport. You're not just running straight fast throughout. It's very rare when you're doing that. So I mean, don't think the player is going to be great because of the NFL combine. NFL combine is nonsense. Okay. So yeah, look at their college tape, listen to people who knows what they're talking about, listen to coaches, and use good judgment if they're going to be good or not. You'll be better off doing that. Study the game, learn the game inside and out. Understand that. Don't waste your time watching NFL combine. It's nothing. It's pointless. But anyway. But yeah, JJ McCarthy, he had a hell of a game. Really great game. Aaron Jones, he was 12 for 34. Let's see. My boy Jordan Addison, USC alum, 2 catches for 66 yards. He had 2 targets. TJ Hawkinson, 4 catches, 66 yards. Naylor went off. Naylor is like their third receiver. 3 catches, 47 yards, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones had 3 catches, 31 yards. Justin Jefferson, 2 catches for 22 yards. And that's it for that. I mean, let's see what the Cowboys did. Dak Prescott was 23 of 38, 294 yards. He had no touchdowns. No touchdowns, no picks. I mean, he didn't play bad. He almost threw for 300 yards, but he had no touchdowns. Javonte Williams, 15 carries, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. Let's see. M. Davis, he had 8 carries, 20 yards, 1 touchdown. And let's see what the receivers did. CeeDee Lamb was 6 catches, 111 yards. George Pickens was 3 catches for 33 yards. George Pickens was nowhere to be found. 3 catches for 33 yards. Come on, man. But CeeDee Lamb had a pretty good game. But come on, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, George Pickens is, was great all year, and now he's doing absolutely nothing. All right, let's go on. Let's do what about the Bears in the I would definitely want to talk about this game. Where we at? Bears and Browns. Bears and Browns. Where we at? Where's that game at? There we go. All right. So I said the Bears was going to beat the Browns 27-25. I thought that for some reason, I thought the Browns was going to put up more points. I was wrong. I should not have thought that because I knew how elite the Bears defense was, and I know how young Shedeur Sanders is. And now let's reverse this a little bit. Now I was just talking about how the media should chill out on. Oh wait, hold on. You know what? I want to go over the real quick before I talk about the Bears. I want to talk about the standings. So the NFC North, the Bears. Okay, this is perfect. The Bears is leading the NFC North. They're 10-4. The Green Bay Packers is 9-4-1. The Detroit Lions is 8-6. And the Minnesota Vikings are 6-8. So right now, the Bears and the Bears and the Packers, they're neck to neck, kind of, because the Packers has a tie. So I still got the Bears going to the Super Bowl. That's my pick for the NFC. I think the Bears can meet like I said, if the Chargers can hold up Justin Herbert, I say the Bears can meet the Chargers in the Super Bowl. But if not, I got the Bears beating the Patriots. I got the Bears and the New England Patriots. That's like my confirmed pick. And then so the NFC East, I got the Eagles. So not I got the Eagles. They're leading the NFC East. The Eagles, oh yeah, they're running away with that because the Cowboys are out. Washington is out, obviously, and Giants are out, obviously. So I got the Eagles. So the Eagles are 9-5, and so Eagles are 9-5. Dallas is 6-7-1. Washington is 4-10. The Giants are 2-12. Okay, so now let's go to the Bears in the where they at? In the Browns. All right, so I said the Bears was going to beat the Browns 27-25. The Bears put up a lot of points, like I said they were. They put up more points than I said they were. They put up 31 points. They beat the Browns 31-0. They blew out the Browns. Now, this is what I was talking about. No, this is what I was talking about, but to reverse what I'm saying a little bit about young quarterbacks. 2 of these quarterbacks are very, very young. You all know how big I am on Caleb Williams. I've been saying Caleb Williams is going to be a top 5 quarterback before he was even drafted. Before the Bears we knew what team was going to draft him. I've been saying that, Now, get me wrong. Let's be honest now. I can be biased when it comes to USC players. I know that. I understand this. But when I know a player is not going to be so good, I lay off on it. But I've always, without a doubt, knew how great Caleb Williams was going to be. Always did. You guys never did. I've seen how the media disrespects Caleb Williams. Just like how they disrespect Justin Herbert. I've seen it. And especially his rookie year. A lot of people were saying that he wasn't good his rookie year. He was terrible his rookie year. Caleb Williams was not bad his rookie year. He wasn't. Did it look like he was good to the naked eye? No, it didn't. That's why so many people thought he was bad. But I sat there and I watched Caleb Williams games. Like I watched every single game of Caleb Williams. I watched all of his games for USC. I watched all of his games his rookie year at the Chicago Bears. He wasn't bad. He actually was getting better very slowly every single week. You guys have to understand, like he's a young quarterback. He's a rookie quarterback, and he had to evolve his game a lot faster than your natural quarterback, than your regular quarterback, because of his playing style. Caleb Williams' playing style when he first got into the league, it helped him dominate at the collegiate level. It helped him dominate when he was playing at USC. Everybody was saying, "Oh, Caleb Williams can't be a hero." Oh, yada yada yada. Why is he always playing hero ball? Because he's been doing that for the past 2 years. He was at USC. Damn it, that's why he had to do it. USC's defense was garbage. It was terrible. And if their defense wasn't so bad, Caleb Williams would have had two BCS championships, because USC's offense was the best offense in the league when he was there for 2 years. So you all have to understand that. So I mean, my thing is, like, when Caleb Williams was drafted to the Chicago Bears, I thought he was holding himself up. He didn't look absolutely terrible. Did he make bad decisions here and there? Yes, he did. But he wasn't terrible. He was actually holding everything together. He was actually I saw it. I saw it. And now here's the thing. I see Shady McCoy last week, and I should play the tape. Man, when he was saying, like, and I will start doing that when I get a little more when I get more in tune with going live. But right now I'm just going to be talking from the top of my head. But I will play, like, I would do like replays or play tapes and stuff like that of other people saying certain things, But Shady McCoy, he said that Shedeur Sanders is better than Caleb Williams. That's what he said out of his own mouth. Now, if you all want to see what he said, that he's on Speakeasy, and he said it on Speakeasy. You can Google it, or you can go on YouTube and say, I guess you can type in Shady McCoy. You know what? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can somehow put that on here real quick, because I don't want to take up too much time trying to find it, because I feel like usually when I have something I want to show you all or replay, that I should just automatically have it. But let me see if I can somehow like just pull it up real quick. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, Shady McCoy, Shedeur Sanders is better than Caleb. Let's see if I can find that. I don't know if this is it. I'm gonna see. See if this is it.
5 times. And now y'all want to listen. I ain't gonna get crazy. If he win this game, he look good, I'm gonna act crazy though. Because I've been telling you that Shedeur Sanders is like that. And they didn't like him because how many chains he wore and how he talked. I think if he beats Caleb Williams, I think he's better than Caleb Williams. We keep forgetting that this kid's only been starting for 2 weeks. I don't count the first game when he played. He ain't had no reps. He ain't know the game plan, right? For him, that game plan was for Dylan Gabriel. Now he's getting a game plan for himself, the plays he likes. Now his head coach ain't acting like he ain't Shedeur, right? Now he let that swagger go. Listen, if he beats Caleb Williams, we look at every GM in the eye and say, yo, are you suitable for this position? Are you the guy for a franchise? Because all y'all passed him up 5 times.
All right.
And now y'all want to listen.
Shady McCoy said 12 is better than Caleb Williams, and GMs need to be fired for passing.
All right, so So that's what Shady feels like, huh? He feels like that's what he said. That's what he said. He said Caleb Williams. He said Shedeur was. He said if Shedeur beats Caleb Williams, he's better than Caleb Williams. There has never been a time up to now where Shedeur Sanders was a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. Never have been. And I'm telling you right now, Shedeur Sanders will never be better than Caleb Williams. I don't care where Shedeur Sanders' career takes off. I don't care how far, how advanced or heightened of an elevated quarterback he becomes. He's never, ever, mark my words when I tell y'all this, Shedeur Sanders will never, ever on planet Earth be better than Caleb Williams or even as good as Caleb Williams. Never. That's it. It won't happen. First off, Caleb Williams is way too talented. He's way too talented. And I'm not just saying that's because he's talented that he's going to be better than Caleb Williams. Don't get me wrong. This is coming from a guy who's not a talented, who wasn't naturally a talented football player. I had to work my ass off for me to just be as good as I ended up being. I was a late bloomer. That's one of the reasons why I never made it into the NFL or playing D1 ball, because I first had to understand the game and I wasn't naturally athletic. So I had to train 10 times as harder than your natural athlete for me to get my skills right, my athletic ability right. And then I had to train my mind to understand the game of football, how it was played. Because I didn't really understand how it was played when I was in high school. I was still trying to understand it. Only reason why I played it, I went from basketball to football. The reason why I played it because my grandfather told me to play. He pretty much forced me to play. I didn't want to play football at first. You know, I didn't understand it. I didn't like it. I thought it was, I didn't like football, you know? So this is coming from a guy who had to dedicate 12 hours a day for 10 years of molding himself, training himself to be an actual football player. So I'm not just saying Caleb Williams is going to be better than Shedeur Sanders just because he's more naturally athletic or naturally talented than Shedeur. I'm also saying that Caleb Williams is better than Shedeur because, yeah, Shedeur Sanders may have it. Deion Sanders more than likely trained him to be a quarterback, and Tom Brady, you know, Shedeur Sanders has that clutch gene bug in him. But so does Caleb Williams. Not only because Caleb Williams is more athletic, but and talented, but Caleb Williams, you can see how he has evolved his game in a short amount of time with an elite offensive head coach. Ben Johnson has used Caleb Williams' skill set to become an elite NFL quarterback. Caleb Williams' skill set has evolved exceptionally more now because of Ben Johnson. And now Ben Johnson's offensive play calling is complementing Caleb Williams' game. And now when you have Caleb Williams with the stuff that he can do, he has the physical traits to make you not see the throws that he makes, the runs that he makes. He is as elusive as they come. Caleb Williams is like a running back, but he can pass the damn ball. He has a big arm. He is stupid accurate. He's becoming more intelligent of a quarterback. He's seeing the field. He's reading the defenses better. You see it when you watch these games. So the thing about with Caleb Williams, man, Caleb Williams is an elite quarterback now. And it's time for us all to stop to give Caleb Williams his flowers. It's time for us to do that. All right. So I don't want to hear no more of the Caleb Williams hate. It's like how I was telling you all to give my boy Justin Herbert his flowers. Y'all need to start giving my boy Caleb Williams his flowers too. Because Caleb Williams is a top 5 quarterback right now. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Y'all know it. Caleb Williams has been great this year. He has been great. And Shedeur Sanders is not better than Caleb Williams, and he never will be. So Shady is wrong on that. Very wrong. And that's what I'm saying. We can't just buy into this hype about player about these we can't just like how I was saying we can't like knock like and crucify young quarterbacks. We got to calm down about saying how great they're going to be without us seeing how they're going to end up. I've seen a whole year of Caleb Williams, and I saw every single game him getting better. And he picked up where he left off this year. He has a coach. He has a great coach in Ben Johnson, and Caleb Williams has been getting better every single week this year. He is getting better. So I have too much tape, too much evidence of Caleb Williams, for us to just say after game 3 or 4 of Shedeur Sanders, for us all of a sudden to say Shedeur Sanders is going to be better than Caleb Williams. We don't know that. And Shady doesn't know that. But we do know that Caleb Williams is going to be better than Shedeur because right now he is, and he has all the traits, and he has the coach, and he has the work ethic. He's putting in the work. You can tell he's putting in the work. I mean, Caleb Williams is a lot. To me, he looks a lot bigger than when he was in college, for one. Caleb Williams looks pretty big. He's thick. I mean, he's wide. So that's one. And then two, with that physicality traits that he has and how big he is, he's stupid athletic, man. He is stupid talented. Caleb Williams is probably the most talented quarterback of the entire NFL. He probably is. I know Shady said Josh Allen was. I don't think Josh Allen is the most talented quarterback in the NFL. Josh Allen is definitely talented. He's very talented, but I don't think he's the most talented one. If I would say the most talented quarterbacks in the NFL right now, I would say Caleb Williams number 1, Justin Herbert number 2, Josh Allen number 3. That's what I would say. I would put it like that. And then Kyler Murray number. Ooh. No, if I was to say the most talented, I would say Kyler Murray number 1. Now I'm talking about talented and athletic ability. Not talking about like quarterbacking. I'm talking about just pure talent. I'll say Kyler Murray number 1 as quarterbacks. Kyler Murray number 1, Caleb Williams number 2, Justin Herbert number 3, Josh Allen number 4. Just pure talent, But hey, rest my case, man. Y'all, I told you guys gonna learn when to listen to me because I've been telling y'all for years how great of a player Caleb Williams is. Now he's playing great. The Bears is number 1 in their division. They are obviously going to the playoffs, and the Bears has a dominant defense, great quarterback, great play caller coach, the number 1 running game in the entire NFL. They are built to go all the way. I do not see a team in the NFC stopping the Chicago Bears. I think the Bears is going to be able to beat the Rams. I think the Bears is going to be able to beat the Lions. I think the Bears is going to be able to beat the Seahawks. There's not a team that's going to be able to stop them. The Bears are scary. They're dangerous. And I'm saying they got a quarterback that can make all the throws, that can make all the plays. And I think if they need Caleb Williams, he's going to show up. Did you see the tight windows that he was throwing in the game? Did you not see it? Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can just go through some highlights real quick because this is crazy. Like, let's see. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I can. Because I didn't even watch the game, but I saw some of this stuff about. I saw some of the throws. Let's see. Let's see if I can play it. Let's see, Caleb wins.
Full game for Chicago, and we're under.
See some of these throws from Caleb Williams, man. Let's see some of these throws from him. Money. There was one throw. It was so tight in the window I saw. I don't know which play that was. Let's see how much. Let's see. Don't know which play that was, but it was so tight. I think it was. Oh, I think that was the play to DJ Moore. Let's see. Look at that. Oh my God. Look. Hold on. Look at that. And y'all talking about Caleb Williams is not good? Look at that. Look at that. He threw that across his body in the tight window. Look at that, man. Come on, man. Y'all get off my boy Caleb Williams, man. Y'all get off my boy Caleb Williams. I'm telling y'all right now. That would do, Caleb. Dude, he making throws like that in his second year in the league. Man, come on. Look. Oh my God, dog. Yo, I don't care, man. Y'all, Caleb Williams already top 5. Shedeur Sanders tried to do the same thing. He got picked off by Jalen Johnson. Tried to connect with Jerry Jeudy. Jalen Johnson picked that off. Bruh, and then look at the running game. DeAndre Swift. Look at that. Look at how elusive DeAndre Swift is. Let me tell y'all, man. The Bears, they got the best running game in the entire NFL. They got, and then they have a top 5 quarterback. The Bears is going to be a scary team to beat in the playoffs. That's why I got them going to the Super Bowl. I got them going to the Super Bowl this year. I don't think there's a team in the NFC that's going to beat the Bears. This playoff is going to be extremely exciting to watch, man. And look, another pick. But Shady wants to say Shedeur Sanders is better than Caleb Williams. Where? When? How? In what universe? Caleb Williams never been on the same level as Caleb Williams. And I even heard, it's always these biased people that always – I like Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a very, very good quarterback. I honestly do. But it's always like – it's always the how can I put it? These analysts, man, they always like when they're really big on a player, and Shedeur Sanders at least, they kind of just push them, overrate them to the extravagant, to the heavens, put them on this pedestal. And I remember when before even Shedeur and Caleb Williams even got drafted, got into the league. I remember Tim Bayless saying, "You can't tell me that." Was it Shedeur or was that Keyshawn Johnson? It was one of them, but they was like, "You can't tell me like Caleb Williams is head and shoulders to Shedeur Sanders." How is he not? Caleb Williams, like Shedeur Sanders. I've liked Shedeur Sanders, but he never, even in college, he never looked better than Caleb Williams. Never did. In this narrative that we have to just praise Shedeur for whatever reason, and if we don't think he's good, or if we want to criticize him, that we automatically are just haters of Shedeur Sanders is ridiculous. It's asinine. Emmanuel Acho got some heat from giving Shedeur Sanders some criticism. I think it was constructive criticism. He wasn't like just hating on them, dude, but he was being constructive, and he got crucified for it. Like I said, you guys can go to my earlier videos how I praise Shedeur. I have praised Shedeur a lot, but we got to stop this madness, because what we're doing, to be honest with you all, let me tell you this right now. For all of you out there, and I'm not even going to say fanboys, I'm just going to say opportunists, because I don't even think that a lot of you all are actually huge fans of Shedeur Sanders. I think you all are praising Shedeur Sanders so you can get more clout. Shedeur Sanders is one of the most famous athletes in the world right now, if not the most famous athlete in the world. And I think that you're going to get a lot of recognition and you're going to get a lot of clout by praising Shedeur Sanders. And so you just want to automatically just attack people who actually decides to do their job and who decide to not buy into the media hype in the herd. And you want to go ahead and attack them, especially if they're black, and be like, "Oh, you're a sellout. Oh, you hating. Oh, yada, yada, yada." And then you want to act like you've been down for the Sanders family since day one. Like you was there when Shador Sanders was born. That's nonsense. And it's dumb and it's lousy and it's lazy and it's annoying. I mean, and so I don't think Emmanuel Acho was wrong on anything he said about Shador Sanders at all. Now, if I could find someone's taste about what he said, I would. But for time's sake, I'll just leave it there. But you know what? Screw it. Let me see if I can find something because I know he was Emmanuel Acho, he was getting a lot of heat, man, on Shador. But the thing about it is that you all are doing Shador Sanders. You all opportunists are doing Shador Sanders a disservice by you praising him so much and turning him into something that he's not. Because you want to get the recognition. Because when Shador Sanders plays bad like he did today, now you got to come up with an excuse why he played bad. And it just doesn't look as authentic. Because we all know why he played bad. He played bad because he went against a great defense. He played bad because he went against a defense that confused him. And he played bad because he's young. He's a rookie. Okay? We have to be patient and let things play out. Now here I am being contradicting and hypocritical with Caleb Williams. I'm not being patient and letting things play out with Caleb Williams. I'm not going to do it. I'm a USC diehard fan. I've seen Caleb Williams play every single game, and I know how great of a player Caleb Williams is going to be. I'm not holding back on what I'm saying about Caleb Williams. I'm not being an opportunist. I don't even know if I will even ever meet Caleb Williams. I hope I do one day. I would love to. But I see how great of a player and talented and how hard Caleb Williams works to be a great player. I see the competitive nature in him. So I just know that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. I just know he is. Same for Justin Herbert. I've seen every single game with Justin Herbert. I know how great Justin Herbert is going to be. I know Justin Herbert is going to be first ballot Hall of Famer, may even go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. I think he will. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of saying that by Justin Herbert and Caleb Williams. I'm not. Right now, they both are looking really hot. They both are looking really good. They both are going to the playoffs. They both have a chance of going to the Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl. So right now, I've been right about Justin Herbert and Caleb Williams so far. Let me see if I can find what Emmanuel Acho's take on Caleb Williams. I mean on Shador, because he got a lot of heat. You got a lot of heat on Shador Sanders, man. You got a lot of heat on Shador Sanders for whatever reason, and let's see. You know what? Oh, it's only 11 minutes, but I'm not gonna play the whole thing. But all right, let's see. Because I thought this was a very good. Let's see. See if I can find it. All right, so I just wanted to show y'all a little bit. That wasn't really the video I was looking at, but I thought it was kind of interesting. His breakdown on Shedeur Sanders' game a little bit. It was 11 minutes. I wasn't gonna play the whole thing, but I mean, Caleb Williams, Shedeur Sanders is making rookie mistakes, and for Shedeur and for Shady to say that Shedeur is just gonna be better than Caleb Williams, it was just nonsense. But Emmanuel Acho, he does those type of takes. He does those type of takes on all players. And he did takes like that on Shedeur Sanders. And prior to that video, that wasn't even the video I was even looking for. I was looking for a video prior to the Bears game. But all of a sudden, I didn't even know he did a breakdown on Shedeur Sanders' game of the Bears. But it was a very solid breakdown. And that was like 11 minutes. I only played like 2 minutes of the video. But he does takes like that because Acho is an actual real analyst. He's a very honest analyst. And I think he understands the game exceptionally well. He wasn't like a great player, but he's a great analyst. And he's better, if not the best analyst on television. And there's Hall of Famers who's on television, you know what I'm saying? And he's better than them. So, he's somebody to listen to. He's somebody to listen to and take consideration. But he got a lot of criticism, not off that video, but prior to his breakdowns on Shedeur Sanders. And a lot of people were knocking him for it, crucifying him for it, saying he's a hater and all that stuff. He hates black people. How does he hate black people when he's being honest about black quarterbacks, about black people? If you're being honest about somebody, you're not hating them. You're being honest about them. And the fact of the matter is, I would say you guys hate Shedeur Sanders more than you guys actually would like to admit. Just because you are praising this dude day in, day out, it doesn't mean you're actually for him. It is a biological fact, psychological fact that all people are self-interested. That your first action, your first motive, your first thought, it was self-interested. You might think that, oh no, I'm putting such and such before me. No, you're not. You're doing it because of your own self-interest. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. So Shedeur Sanders understands that. He knows that. He knows that you guys are just praising him just for clout because you are opportunists. He knows that all of you guys are not as honest about him. He knows this. So you guys are actually hurting him more because again, when he plays bad, when he comes up short, you're going to come up with a lie or excuse as to why he did it. Or even worse, you're just going to be silent and nowhere to be found. So if Shedeur Sanders, let's just say Shedeur Sanders plays terrible throughout his entire NFL career, nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to be there for him. You see what I'm saying? So just calm down. Just calm down with the hate. With attacking the analyst who's being honest about these players. They're doing their freaking job. Unlike y'all. I saw when Matt Barnes came at Acho, Matt Barnes talking like, first off, Matt Barnes, you don't know a damn thing about football. So just shut the hell up. Talking about players who actually played the damn game and you attacking them. And especially somebody like Acho, who actually is very knowledgeable, intelligent in this game. You coming at him. Like, who the hell is Matt Barnes? I didn't even think I'm a diehard Laker fan. I never liked Matt. Matt Barnes was whatever. He was whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was average to me. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's what I'm saying. Opportunist. Bro, you a grown ass man. Shedeur Sanders is like, I don't know how old Shedeur Sanders is, and you like meat riding this dude. You weren't even supporting Shedeur his entire collegiate career. I wonder how many Colorado games you actually watched for you to act like you been with Shedeur since day one. Man, get the hell out of here, man. But anyway, let's keep it pushing. Let's see. All right, so yeah, the Bears. Before I move on, let me see what my boy Caleb Williams, stats, man, because I know he went off. I know he did. And even if he didn't, he made some big throws, man. He made some big throws. All right, so Shedeur Sanders, he was 18 for 35, 177 yards, 3 interceptions. And Judkins was 12 carries, 21 yards. He didn't really have a big of a game. Jerry Jeudy, it was 2 catches, 22 yards. All right, so the Bears, Caleb Williams, 17-28, 242 yards. 60.7 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift, he went off 18 carries, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. DJ Moore, he had two touchdowns, 4 catches, 69 yards. And yeah, that was it. All right, so let's see. Let's go on to the Bengals and the Ravens. All right, so the Bengals got blown out by the Ravens. Like I already said. Whoa. Okay, yeah. So I already said that the Ravens was gonna beat the Bengals. I said the Ravens was gonna beat the Bengals 24-20. That's what I said. I said 24-20. I thought the Bengals was at least gonna put up 20 points. The Bengals, they put up nothing. I'm actually really impressed about my thought on about how much the Ravens is gonna put up, but I'm actually very surprised that the Bengals didn't score a single point. I mean, so like Bengals got blown out. I think this was the first time Joe Burrow has ever got blown out his entire career, NFL career, maybe career in general. Joe Burrow warned us though. He told us. He said he ain't feeling too right. Nothing's going right now in his life. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Joe Burrow. He's obviously depressed. I hope he's not suicidal. But I hope his close friends, his people who are real in his circle are checking in on him because he doesn't look happy at all. He looks soulless. He really does. And I think it's very important for us to pay attention when people are talking like that and looking like that. We may think he's just mad and feeling like that because of the Bengals. This dude literally said everything is going wrong right now in my life. Nothing right now is going right. So he wasn't just talking about football. He was talking about stuff in his personal life. I mean, we just had an NFL player commit suicide, a month ago? So I'm not saying like Joe Burrow's going to commit suicide. He's on suicide watch. But what I am saying is that, we should, not take what he's saying, lightly. I hope that I'm over-exaggerating. I hope I'm over-exaggerating. I hope I'm not right, to be honest with you. I hope I'm wrong in what I'm saying. I really do. But I'm not going to say I've been a very heavy critique of Joe Burrow. But I've always said that Joe Burrow was overrated. I always said it. I've been saying it for years now. Now, granted, here I'm repeating myself. Just because I say a player is overrated doesn't mean I'm saying a player is bad. I even said that Joe Burrow could be a Hall of Fame quarterback. I did say that. I wouldn't say he was overrated because I know there was a time where, you got people like Skip Bayless who was trying to say that Joe Burrow is better than Tom Brady. Stupid. When you were saying that, we were trying to say that Joe Burrow was sometimes better than Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. He's not. I would put Joe Burrow over Josh Allen. I did do that, and I kind of still would. Well, he's not looking like he's better than Josh Allen right now. But I just think only reason I'll put Joe Burrow over Josh Allen because I think he can throw the ball better than Josh Allen. Even when he was those elite receivers he has. But right now, this is not a good look. And listen, I'm saying we should, about Joe Burrow. I think that we should all not take light of what he's saying and how he's feeling right now because he's still a human being at the end of the day. He's not only a football player, not only a quarterback for the Bengals. He's a person. He's a human. He goes through stuff personally. So we should let's be considerate about that. But talking outside of that about the game, he played terrible, and he said that he even said out of his own mouth. He said, "There's not a team in the NFL that if they had me as their quarterback will win today." That's crazy. He said, "There's not a team in the NFL if they had me would win." So if he was on the Patriots, he's saying they would have lost. If he was on the Chargers, he's saying they would have. Well, yeah, he would have lost with the Chargers because Chargers offensive line. But if he was on, I'm trying to think of elite teams. If he was on the Seahawks, he's saying they would have lost. If he was on the Rams, he's saying they would have lost. Those are elite teams. If he was on the Bears, he's saying they would have lost. If he was on the Vikings, he's saying they would have lost. the Cowboys, they would have lost. So what I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too deep into this, but what I'm getting out of this is like he's pretty much saying like, I know I'm terrible right now, and I'm not sure if football is it anymore. That's where I feel like where he's leading up to. Sometimes the nature of this game can really get to us mentally. I don't know if people. I mean, I don't know how many of the people who subscribe to this channel, how many people has actually played the game. But when you play football, man, it does put a toll on you mentally. I will argue it puts a toll onto you mentally than any sport in the world. I would argue that. Like I said, football is a serious emotional game. It is a lot of emotional investment that goes into football. There's a lot of life lessons in football, let alone the NFL. You have to be exceptionally mentally tough to play this game. Because if you're not, this game is going to take a toll on you mentally. It's going to take a toll on you physically. It's going to take a toll on you emotionally. Football, it's a life game, man. It's a life game. Like I said, it's a game of momentum. It's a game of emotion. Like even watch the games, you will see the game with the team with the most momentum. They score. The game goes back and forth. It's momentum. Sometimes when a team scores, especially when it's a tight game, the one team scores, the other team they fight their hardest to come back and score, and then it's back and forth sometimes. And then sometimes when the team gets a stop, the defense comes out to get a stop. You know what I'm saying? You see it how it's back and forth. It's a game of momentum. It's a game of emotions. Football is not it's really not that hard to understand. When you really train your eye to see the unseen, beyond the stats, beyond the star plays, beyond the highlights, when you really train your eye to really look at this game of really what it is, you will see that it's a very, very simple but profound game. There is no game in the world like football. No game in the world like football. None. That's why I love it so much. That's why I love playing it so much. I've learned a lot of life lessons playing the game of football. A lot. And then when you have a great coach, that's even better. That puts the icing on the cake. I remember growing up, man, seeing some guys who grew up without fathers and their head coaches was their father figure. I've had some memories playing football that I would never freaking trade for anything. I made some friends playing the game, lifelong friends. So I hope everything is cool with Joe. It doesn't look. I mean, I don't know what's going on in his life, but I hope he gets it together, and I hope he doesn't retire. I hope he doesn't walk away from the game. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, it's because of the Bengals, yada yada yada." Bro, I don't really think it's because of the Bengals. The Bengals you can't blame this on the Bengals, really, to be honest with you. The Bengals has given Joe Burrow everything that he asked for. They literally have. Joe Burrow wanted Jamar Chase resigned. They re-signed Jamar Chase. He wanted T. Higgins resigned. They re-signed T. Higgins. They re-signed both of their defensive players. They re-signed Trey Hendrickson. They re-signed. They signed that rookie pass rusher. I don't think he's done absolutely nothing this year. But the Bengals has gave Joe Burrow everything that he's asked for, and they signed him to a fat contract. We can't blame this on the Bengals. We can't. I just honestly think that a lot of things are just getting to him. That's what I honestly believe. But let's see. Lamar Jackson, he had a better game that he has had recently. Lamar Jackson was 8 for 12, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 4 times. Lamar Jackson was. Derrick Henry, he had a very solid game. 11 carries, 100 yards. So he almost had 10 yards to carry, but it was 9 yards on his act. He had three 20-plus yards. Derrick Henry did. Zay Flowers, 3 catches, 68 yards. So, yeah. And what about the Bengals? Let's see what the Bengals. Joe Burrow was 25 of 39, 225 yards. He had 2 picks, 3. He was sacked 3 times. I mean, he was kind of efficient. He was pretty efficient with his completion percentage. And The rushing was off. That's what the Bengals need, man. They need a solid rushing game. That's what they need. They need a really good. They needed to draft or find a really good running back to take some of the pressure off Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase had a pretty solid game. He was 10 catches, 132 yards. So, and that's it. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that game. All right, let's see. Cardinals, Texans. So I said the Cardinals. No, I said the Texans was going to be the Cardinals 23-21. And the Texans blew. The Texans destroyed the Cardinals 40-20. Jesus. Man, the Texans, that's another team that's looking very scary, man. This is another team that's looking really scary because the Texans defense is so physical, man. They are a physical elite team. Jacoby Brissett, he was 27 out of 40, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. And yeah, the Texans, CJ Stroud, oh, he's playing better. CJ Stroud is playing better. He was 22 with 29, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked, once?
CJ Stroud sacked once, yeah. CJ Stroud was very, very efficient. He had a 75.9 completion percentage, 8.97 yards per pass. Their running back, Jay Jordan, 15 carries, 101 yards. CJ Stroud also had 6 carries for 10 yards. Nico Collins had 3 catches for 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Schultz, he had 8 catches, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. The Texans were dangerous. And it's scary for us. It's scary for the Chargers because the Chargers, their schedule is not lighting up. I don't know if we got the Texans. Do we have the Texans next? I think we got the Houston Texans next. We got them at home. Yeah. I think we got them next. Yep. You know what? As a matter of fact, let me see right now. Let me go on the Texans page and let me see who is their next opponent. Because I think they are playing the Chargers next. They're at home. Let's see. Damn, man. How do I go to their page? I'm tripping. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Info. Let's see. Okay, and then I want to see who are the Texans remaining teams. Yeah. No, we don't. They don't have us next. No, we don't play the Texans next. That's the Chargers' next home game. The Texans has the Raiders next. That's like a bye week for every team, man. They got the Raiders and then they got the Chargers. And they're at LA. So we play against the Texans December the 27th, 2 days after Christmas. Okay. Let's see what's up with that, man. It's gonna be a tough game for the Chargers. Very, very tough game. I might go to that game, actually. We'll see. But sometimes I've worked the home games for the Los Angeles Chargers. I haven't worked a home game for them since September, though. But let's see what's up. All right. So CJ Stroud had an excellent game. Very, very, very excellent game. You look in school. Yeah, big dog. Thanks for shouting out. Thank you. Yeah, so Jim H6254. Good looking out, bro. Thanks for shouting out. But anyway, the Tech, let's see. All right, yeah. So let me see what you already went over their stats. But yeah, CJ Stroud had a great game. He had a great game, very efficient, very, very efficient. He played a lot better than I expected. This is what I want to see out of CJ Stroud. I want to see him be efficient, complete good passes, force the ball down the field, push the ball down the field, not force the ball down the field. And just, take the place that's there. Take the place that's given to you. And that's what he did. He played well. He played very, 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 very well. And so shout out to CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. That defense is going to carry them. I don't know how deep the Texans are going to go in the playoffs. I really don't. But I think they can get a game or two.
Hopefully they don't play against the Chargers. But if they do, hey, man, we want the smoke. We want the smoke. Yep. So, yeah. So I was way off on my prediction with that. I said the Texans were going. I thought it was going to be a close game. I said the Texans were going to beat them 23-21. They blew them out 40-20. So I was kind of almost spot on with how much points the Cardinals was, but I was way off on what the Texans was going to put up. But I said the Texans were going to put up. So the Jets and the Jaguars. I was way off on this game. Oh wow, I can't believe I did this. All right, I was straight up smacking the Jaguars. I was straight up disrespecting the Jaguars. So I guess that was a bold prediction. I said the Jets was going to beat the Jaguars 22-12. It was nothing close about this prediction whatsoever. The Jaguars destroyed the Jets 48-20. And I think Trevor Lawrence went off. I think he went off, which is cool. Let's see here. What B Cook, yeah, whoever this guy is. Because I think Justin Fields is out for the season. I think Trevor Lawrence. God, dog. Trevor Lawrence went off. He went off. Oh wow, he snapped. I mean, this has to be the performance of the week. He was 20 of 32, 330 yards, 62.5 completion percentage, 5 passing touchdowns. Then he was 5 for 51 in a rushing touchdown. He snapped. I don't even like Trevor Lawrence. I've never been big on his game, but I got to give credit where credit's due. He went off on this game. Even if it was against the Jets, 6 total touchdowns is dangerous. I don't care what team is against. And he nearly almost rushed for 100 yards. Well, 51. But that's good, man. Hey, let's see if we can keep it up. Let's see if we can keep it up into going to the playoffs. You know, Trevor Lawrence never really been that type of player. He's a very consistent quarterback too. Like Trevor Lawrence is like Dak Prescott. Like he will have one game where he's really good, and then he'll have another when he's terrible. And then he'll go on this long streak of being terrible. That's Trevor Lawrence for you. That is Trevor Lawrence for you. All right, so the Bills Patriots. All right, so I said the Patriots was going to beat the Bills 23-18. So I think the Bills came back because the Patriots this is a bad game for New England. How are you blowing out the Bills? I don't care if Josh Allen was the quarterback. How are you blowing out a team? I think they had them down by like 21-0 or something like that. I think it was more than that. Hold on. Let me go by the play-by-play. Man. Because I think they were destroying the Bills. So in the first quarter, it was – hold on, man. This is bad. Like, you can't be – I can't have you as a team to go to the Super Bowl and you give up a big margin like that. That's not good at all. All drives. So New England, it was 14-0 in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter. And then the second quarter, it was 21-0. 4 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock. New England was blowing out the Bills 21-0. All right, then the Bills put up 7 points. The Bills had a touchdown. New England had a field goal. 1 minute and 56 seconds left on the clock. So they ended the first half, 24-7. New England was on top. It was still a blowout. Third quarter, New England allowed the Bills to score another touchdown. It was 14-24. The Bills was creeping up. It was still 14-24 throughout halfway through the third quarter. Now, with 5 minutes and 29 seconds left on the clock, New England allowed the Bills to score again. Now we got a game. 21-24. And then it was 21-24. Oh, I think it was an interception. I think Drake May threw a pick. Let me see. Drake May pass short left to R. Stevenson.
No. Unnecessary roughness. That was a penalty. 16-yard pass. That was 3 minutes left in the game. Where was the interception? Where was the interception? I saw that was an interception. Okay, but I think Drake May threw a pick. I see interception. But yeah, so it was 24-21. New England was still on top, leading going into the fourth quarter. And then New England just let the Bills take over in the second half, pretty much, leading in going to the fourth quarter. It was 28-24. 6 minutes left on the clock. 28-24. And then New England scored 31-28. It was 3 plays. New England had 3 plays for 65 yards. And total time took them 14 seconds to go down. They went down the field, 3 plays. And then total time, the Bills took the Bills 3 minutes and 1 second for 10 plays and 50 yards. The Bills came back 35-31. New England punted. New England had 5 plays for -2 yards. The Bills defense held up on that. And then the Bills punted. They had 4 plays for 6 yards. Couldn't really get anything done. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left of time, total time. And then the game ended with New England just not being able to get it done. New England's last downs was 4 plays for 5 yards, 56 total time. So the Bills defense just held up. Oh, and I saw that when Joey Bosa, he controlled that play. He contained Drake May, and he tipped the ball, and the game was over. And the game ended 35-31. Bills on top. New England tried getting it done. I think they went. That was a 4th down. They went down up for. They went for it. They couldn't get it done. So that's that. All right. So the Chiefs and the Chargers. Okay. So the Chargers. Justin Herbert had some really big throws this game. He came out on top. He started off pretty slow, but he prevailed. I mean, he made some very big throws, some very, very key throws, and he just shown why he's the best quarterback in the league. I got to say that he's the best quarterback in the league. Justin Herbert's shown that. I mean, he's doing this with a bad offensive line, with one hand, and he is making the throws that counts. He is connecting with his players, connecting with his wide receivers, and he is showing some serious toughness, and that is seeping through the entire team. And Justin Herbert deserves all the credit in the world for that. Patrick Mahomes got knocked out of the game. He's out for the year. And if he isn't, the Chiefs might as well just sit him out. But he's out for the year. I think he's having season-ending injury. Season-ending injury. And I think, and so shout out for Patrick Mahomes for being a great quarterback and, doing what he's doing for his league. But it's the Chargers' time now. And it's Justin Herbert's time now. It's Justin Herbert take over the AFC West. Justin Herbert and the Chargers are 5-0 against AFC West. They sweep the Raiders. They sweep the Chiefs. That's 4 wins right there, and they beat the Broncos. So now they need to go ahead and beat the Broncos to sweep them. Beat the Broncos again. We played the Broncos in our last game of the year. Let's go ahead and sweep them, man. Let's go ahead and take control of the Broncos, bro. Let's get it. All right, and so right now, the Broncos are 12-2. The Chargers are 10-4. The Chiefs are 6-8, and the Raiders are 2-12. So the Chargers are right behind the Broncos, man. We can probably come on top if we can. I don't know what the Broncos' remaining schedule is, but let me see. Let's see what the remaining schedule. So they got the Jaguars, and then they got the Chiefs. And then it's all over the place. Let's see here. All right, so They got the Jags, and then they got the Chiefs on Christmas Day. That'll be fun. And then they have the Chargers. Okay. So we'll see. All three of those games is going to be tough for them, even though they got the Chiefs. Well, no, not for the Chiefs anymore because the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes is done. So that's going to be a dub for the Broncos. But the Jaguars is going to be a tough game for them, and the Chargers is going to be a tough game for them. So if they can lose those two games, the Chargers can be number one in AFC West. It can happen. It can happen. What the Chargers needs to do, the Chargers has to control what they can control. They got to beat the Broncos, and they got to win out for the rest of the year. They can't lose a game because the Broncos is not going to lose against the Chiefs. It's that. If the Broncos lose to the Chiefs, I don't know what the heck had just happened, but that can't happen. No, that's not going to happen. So, but they can lose to the Jags and they can lose to the Chargers. So that'll be like 6 losses right there for them in the end of the year. The Chargers lose and win out. Boom. All right, so let's get it. I'm rooting for the Jaguars to beat them this year and beat them this week. All right, so what was my boy Herbert's stats? Like, I think he threw for like 200 yards, something like that. He had a pretty good game, man. I mean, he was the throws that he made was freaking unnatural. Justin Herbert was 19 to 29, 210 yards. He had a 65.5 completion percentage. He had 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was sacked 4 times, a rating of 84. And Amarion Hampton had 15 carries for 61 yards. Kamani Vidal, 12 carries, 33 yards. And Rondé Gatson, he was our leading receiver for today. 4 catches, 61 yards. Trey Harris, 3 catches, 49 yards. Trey Harris, he made some very big contesting catches. I think he's going to be a really solid wide receiver for us in the foreseeable future. I think he can be our big X player. I think he's going to be a really good contesting catch receiver because he makes those tough catches. And that's what we need. Keaton Allen was 5 catches, 36 yards. Ladd McConkey, 2 catches, 20 yards. Keandre Lambert-Smith, 1 catch for 16 yards. Yeah. And that's that. And there's no point of talking about what the Chiefs did because they just – I guess I could look at what Mahomes' stats were before he got out the game. Patrick Mahomes was 16 completions for 28 yards, 189 yards, and 1 interception. So that's that. I thought he threw more picks than that. I thought the Chargers defense only had 2 picks. I thought we had more picks than that. Oh, well. But yeah. Okay. And so that's that. All right. And then so let's move on. All right. So, and then so like the Bills got, oh, wait, hold on. I already talked about the Bills and Patriots. Why did I? All right. So let's see, man. Let me see the Chargers remaining schedule. That's what I want to look at real quick. Before I move on. Because I want to, let me see. The Chargers. Is I know we got to play the Cowboys. We got to play the Texans. Let's see. Oh, full schedule. Tripping. All right, so we got the Chargers' remaining schedule is what the hell? Okay. All right, yeah. So we just beat the Chiefs 16-13. We got the Cowboys next. Yeah, we got the Cowboys next. That's going to be a test. Even though the Cowboys
listen, even though the Cowboys are very inconsistent, they play that bad game this game, they can still give us a run for our money. If our defense, our defense has to hold up, and we just got as long as our defense holds up, we keep Justin Herbert upright, we're good. But we got the Cowboys, and then we got the Texans at home, and then we have the Denver Broncos. Week 18, we closed the season out with the Broncos. If we went out, man, with these 3 games, especially with how the Texans are playing, if we can beat the Texans and the Broncos, bro, that's 2 of the best outside of the Bears. That's 2 of the best defenses in the entire NFL. If we can beat them, man, we can beat anybody. I mean, those are 2 of the most physical defenses in the entire NFL. So I'm really looking forward to those 2 games. I'm looking forward to see what we can do against the Dallas Cowboys. I really am. All right, so the next game, the Commanders and the Giants. I said the Commanders are going to beat the Giants 12-10. And this game really isn't. This game, I don't need to spend too much time on this game. I mean, both of these players, like teams, all their players are just out. Injuries has affected both of these teams. I mean, both of their star quarterbacks is gone for the year. So, I mean, it's really no point of really talking too much about this game. I mean, I thought the game was going to be a low-scoring game. I said the Commanders are going to beat the Giants 12-10. The Commanders beat the Giants 29-21. Very solid performance by the Commanders. Very, very solid performance by the Commanders. I'm really looking forward to next season just to see what these 2 teams can do next year because they both have very young, promising, very highly talented quarterbacks. And I'm really looking for like the NFL, man, is in such a wonderful position because every team is having an elite quarterback or almost every team. And it's just getting more and more competitive. It really is. I mean, you're talking about like it's in the league is starting to become so competitive where some of these teams are looking inconsistent. And it's not even so much that like sometimes we gotta look into it. It's like, okay, maybe maybe they're not as inconsistent. Maybe it's just that the competition is just so great that it's not inconsistent. It's just a competition. It's just evenly matched sometimes. So we got to look into that too and take consideration of that. But let's see, man. Let's see what we got. I don't think it's really necessary for me to go over anything else like the stats in the game, play by play. Well, Marcus Mariota. I mean, he's worth to talk about a little bit. He had 10. Marcus Mariota, 10 completions, 19 out of 19 attempts, 211 yards. 52.6 completion rating, 1 touchdown. So he didn't really have that much of a game. And Terry McLaurin and Debo Samuel was playing as well. So Marcus Mariota just had an off day. I mean, I guess the Jaguars. I guess the Giants defense played a little better. Well, I mean, but they still won. But I mean, Marcus Mariota didn't play that bad, but he played good enough for them to come on top. And Terry McLaurin was 3 catches, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. So, yeah, that's that. And the Giants. Oh, wait, snap. Jackson Dart played? Oh, so I'm tripping. He played. Oh. So, Jackson Dart was 20 of 36, 246 yards, and 2 touchdowns and 1 INT. Okay. Lacey, he was 15 to 70 yards, 1 touchdown. Jackson Dart had 9 carries, had 9 rushes for 63 yards. He fumbled the ball once. He had 1 carry when he went over 20 yards. All right, and so the Giants just didn't play well. They just didn't play well. The Commanders came on top and won. And so I like how the Commanders are still winning games without their star quarterback. I like it. I like how the Commanders are still fighting. They're not just rolling over. I like that a lot. They're out of the playoffs, but they're still fighting every single week. And Marcus Mariota is performing for them. their backup quarterback. And so that shows promise. And it's very, very important for teams now, especially when teams are not going into the playoffs. But to be honest with you, what I'm about to say is very important for every single team to do this. It's very, very important now that we have 3 weeks left of the regular season. It's very, very important for every single team to play as hard as they possibly can for that momentum to transition over into the offseason or into the playoffs. It's extremely important because you can pick up where you left off. I feel like the NFL football is like a pick up where you left off type of game, and so you want to close, you want to finish on a very, very strong note. You don't want to check out, keep that momentum going, and that momentum you can be like, look, like I finished hard, I finished strong. We probably didn't win. We probably, but I'm finishing, I probably didn't have a good game for the most part, but I finished strong. I finished with all my might. So I think I would say it's very, very important, especially for teams that didn't make the playoffs, like the Commanders, to keep it going. To play hard, and the Commanders are doing that, and I like that. I like that. So I think the Commanders is going to be a very dangerous team next year. I really do. When JD Daniels comes back, they get a good draft pick. Maybe they can do some stuff in the offseason, get some free agents in here and there. The Commanders are going to be a great team next year. They were good last year. So, it just injuries hurt them this year. So, but then now let's see what we got. We got let's see here. So yeah, Commanders, Giants. So the Raiders and the Eagles. I said the Eagles was going to beat the Raiders 25-10. The Eagles. No, I said the Eagles going to beat the Raiders 25-10. The Eagles beat the Raiders 31-0. So I wasn't too far off, but So this game isn't much to talk about. What did the Raiders do for me to even read? But Kenny Pickett. So I guess, Kenny Pickett, for the Raiders, he was 15, 25, 64 yards, 1 INT. Jesus, he did absolutely nothing. Jalen Hurts was 12. He had 12 completions out of 15 attempts, 175 yards, 80% completion percentage. He had 3 touchdowns. That's solid for Jalen Hurts. And Saquon Barkley, you see that running game is starting to kick in. It's starting to kick in. Look out. So that's pretty good. That's good. That's good signs for the Eagles, because now they're getting the running game going. The running game. What time of the year is the best time for the running game to get going? If it wasn't getting going all year, it's towards the end of the year going into the playoffs, because you need that running game to carry your team throughout the cold weather, throughout the end of the year, throughout the playoffs, and hopefully getting into the Super Bowl. And so Saquon Barkley is starting to kick in. 22 carries, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. So that's solid, man. Jalen Hurts had 7 carries for 39 yards. All right. Goddard, 6 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, 2 catches for 50 yards. A.J. Brown, 2 catches, 41 yards, 1 touchdown. So it's pretty good. Solid game for the Eagles, man. They destroyed the Raiders. They played very tough. They played very tough, played very hard. And yeah, it's just the Raiders, but hey, Eagles needed that. They needed that win from what happened last week against the Chargers. And so, let's see, the Packers and the Broncos. I think this was a hell of a game, and I heard Bo Nix played his best game of his entire career this game. So I thought this was going to be a very, very low-scoring game. I said the Packers was going to beat the Broncos 15-14, and the Broncos won. They won 34-26. So this was a very high-scoring game. I'm actually going to watch this game because that game just looked highly entertaining. Yeah, 34-26. So I want to know what Bo Nix did. No, stats doesn't tell us everything, but that's the least I can do is look at that. First, let me look at Jordan Love. He was 24 for 40, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 INTs. He was sacked 3 times. And Josh Jacobs, 12 carries for 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Jordan Love was 3 carries, 29 yards. So that's that.
The receivers, Golden, 3 catches, 55 yards. Josh Jacobs had a touchdown, a receiving touchdown. Josh Jacobs played really well. He had a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown. So, yeah, that's cool. Let's see what Bo Nix did. Bo Nix was 23 for 34, 302 yards, 67.6 completion percentage, 8.88 average per pass. He had 4 passing touchdowns. That's solid. 134.7 rating. That's good, man. That's good, man. I have to give credit due. Bo Nix played very, very well against the Packers. Very well. Harvey had 19 carries for 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Bo Nix had 7 carries for 10 yards. Receiving, Sutton, he had a really good game. 7 catches, 113 yards, 1 touchdown. Troy Franklin, Oregon Duck, 6 catches for 85 yards, a touchdown. Humphrey, 3 catches, 42 yards, 1 touchdown. Bandy, 1 catch, 1 touchdown. That offense is clicking, man. The offense is clicking. Harvey did have a fumble, and he lost the fumble, but he still capitalized. Moss and Pat Surtain had interceptions. And Greenlaw, he led his team in tackles, and he had 5 solo tackles. He also led his team in solo tackles as well. So that's solid, man. That's solid. Solid performance by the Denver Broncos. And I guess, Bo Nix did have the best game of his career, because I don't think Bo Nix ever played like that before. So, and it was against Green Bay. Green Bay is supposed to have a really great defense, and they let a struggling offense like the Broncos put up 34 points on them. That's not good by Green Bay. If I'm Green Bay, I'm worried. I'm very worried, because the Broncos offense was not the reason why the Broncos was great. Their defense was carrying this entire team. And you let Bo Nix have the best game of his career against you. You have Michael Parsons. That's not good for the Packers. I don't think the Packers are going to win a playoff game when they get to the playoffs. I don't see that happening. I really don't. I don't see it happening. So the Packers, they have some stuff to worry about. If I'm Green Bay. Now, granted, Green Bay did go to Mile High. They did fly all the way to Mile High. So that's something to take into consideration. And it is very hard to play in Denver. So that's something to take into consideration. But Green Bay's going to have to get together. They are. Because, again, you just can't let Bo Nix just carve your defense up like that. Like, come on. Bo Nix is not known for that. You know what I'm saying? He's just not. So hopefully the Packers can get it together. Like, they have an excuse, but at the same time, they don't. Because I know how hard it is to play in Mile High. So the Rams and the Lions. I said the Rams was going to beat the Lions 27-23. And the Rams beat the Lions 41-34. It was a very, very high scoring game. Right now, the Lions are 8-6. It's not looking too promising for the Lions right now. The Lions can't keep losing games. They can't, or else they're going to end up missing the playoffs. And right now, the Bears is number 1, 10-4. Green Bay 9-4-1. Detroit 8-6. Minnesota 6-8. The Rams 11-3. The Seahawks are 11-3. San Francisco 10-4. Arizona Cardinals 3-11. So the Rams and the Seahawks are tied right now, and San Francisco is right there. The NFC West is competitive as hell. Almost every single game outside of the Cardinals, they're 1 game away from each other. Really, well, the 49ers is 1 game from the Seahawks and the Rams. The Seahawks and the Rams are neck to neck. So it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting with these games. Like, what's the remaining schedule for the Rams and the Seahawks? Let me see. All right, so they have they got the Seahawks on Sunday Night Football. Thursday Sunday Night Football. Woo! That's going to be a tiebreaker for the leading of the NFC West. The Seahawks and the Rams battle it out on Thursday Night Football.
That's going to be an exciting game. And then they have the Falcons. The Falcons, like I told you all before, the Falcons is that team that could be any team. They're that team that can be any team. So the Rams got some pretty tough games. So, and then they got the Cardinals. Yeah, even with the Cardinals can almost beat them, you know. But they got their next 3 games is going to be very tough for the Rams. Very tough. I think they can. I'm not going to trick them to beat Seattle, but you know I'm going to go with Seattle to win that game. But I think they can beat the Falcons. I think they can beat the Cardinals. But it's not going to be a walk in the park. It definitely won't be. So that's going to be very exciting to see that game with the Rams and Seahawks. And yeah, the Rams and Seahawks. So let's see. Let me see. Like, this was a very high scoring game. Jared Goff, he was 25 for 41, 338 yards, 3 touchdowns. Gibbs was only 38 yards. Montgomery, 7 carries, 32 yards, 1 touchdown. Amaron St. Brown, 13 carries, 164 yards, 2 touchdowns. Williams, 7 catches, 134 yards, 1 touchdown. And Aiden Hutchinson had a pick for 58 yards. Okay. Campbell was their leading tackler for 10 total tackles, 10 solo. 10 total tackles, 10 solo. Wow, he was a tackling machine. Yeah, and that's all that I get for that. But let's see what the Rams look like. Matthew Stafford went off, 24 completions, 38 yards, 368 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 INT. He was sacked 2 times. And Kyron Williams, 15 carries for 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. Corum, 11 carries, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. They have a really good running game. I'm liking their running game. Kyron Williams and Corum, both are just feeding off of each other. And Puka Nacua even had a little bit of a rushing attack with him. 2 carries for 8 yards. Puka Nacua had 9 catches, 181 yards. Dude, this dude almost had 200 receiving yards. Devontae Adams had 4 catches for 71 yards, and Parkinson 5 catches, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wow, 2 touchdowns on Parkinson. Devontae Adams was knocked out of the game. He got injured. I don't know how long he's out, but that's going to hurt them big time. Puka Nacua got injured too, but he came back. So we're going to need the Rams to stay healthy for them to make any noise in the playoffs. The next game, the Panthers and the Saints. I said the Panthers is going to beat the Saints 28-30. 28-23. The Saints beat the Panthers 20-17. So, like I said before, man, the Panthers are a very inconsistent team. Bryce Young, he was okay. 15 completions, 24 attempts, 163 yards, 1 touchdown. The Panthers should not have lost this game, man. What was his name? Dotto, the running back, really good running back, 16 carries, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. The Panthers should not have lost this game. They had an opportunity to get on top of the NFC South and let it go. Now they're neck to neck with Tampa Bay. And you already know with a guy like Baker Mayfield, if he has an opportunity, he's going to do everything he can for the Buccaneers to win and for the Buccaneers to be on top. Carolina just gave this game up. Now, granted, I did say this in my last video. I said that these teams play very, very well against each other. So the Saints, they knew Carolina. They came on top. So it's whatever. Tyler Shaw, 24 completions out of 32 attempts, 272 yards, 1 touchdown. So he's playing all right. He also had 8 carries for 32 rushing yards. And they don't have a running game at all. Chris Olave, 6 catches, 85 yards, 1 touchdown. So that's that. With that, yeah. So let's keep it pushing. And the Seahawks and the Colts. Okay, so Phillip Rivers had his first game back since 2000 and what was it? 2019, I think. So like Shane Steichen caught up an old friend, Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers was just coached a high school playoff football game, I think a few weeks ago or a few months ago or something like that. So it's pretty cool. Phillip Rivers was coaching high school football in Alabama. His son, Gunnar Rivers, is looking very promising also. Phillip Rivers, he struggled a little bit first in the beginning of the game, but he came out on top. He didn't come out on. He almost did, but he played very well. He came out and he threw that ball very well. I mean, he actually looked very good, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed. My brother is the biggest Phillip Rivers fan ever, and he's always talking about how great Phillip Rivers is, how Phillip Rivers is a top 5 quarterback of all time. He even goes to the extreme of trying to say how he's the greatest of all time, which I think is dumb. But, he thinks that Phillip Rivers is a first ballot Hall of Fame, yada, yada, yada. So my brother was talking a lot of crap about how good he played, and he did play well. I mean, outside of that beginning of the game, I think it was first snap, he, was backdropping and he tripped. But after he lost his footing, but after that, I mean, he played very good. He looked really good and really efficient. So I think he can do some good things for the Colts. And it was against the Seahawks too, So that's that. I said the Seahawks was going to beat the Colts 34-20, and the game was a low scoring game. So the Seahawks they came out on top by a hair, kicking the field goal. Because at first the Colts was up. I think it was 16-15. I think they was up or something like that. And then, Seattle came out on top 18-16. So very good game by both teams. Very, very good game by both teams. And Phillip Rivers was, Phillip Rivers was 18 completions, 27 yards, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 INT. So he threw a pick. Jonathan Taylor was 25 carries for 87 yards. And that's that for that. That's nobody really did anything for me to really talk about. Seattle, Jackson Smith, Njigba. He had some very big key plays. He came out clutch on top. Sam Darnold, he was pretty efficient. He was 22 completions out of 36 attempts, 271 yards. He had no touchdowns, no INT. The running game wasn't really much of a factor in this game. Jackson Smith and Njigba, he was 7 catches, 113 yards. Cooper Kupp was 5 catches, 46 yards. And so out of the AFC South, the Colts are 3rd. Jacksonville is 10-4. Houston is 9-5. Colts is 8-6. Tennessee is 2-12. So pretty much all these teams are one game behind each other. And all 3 of these teams are playing very, very well. Jacksonville, Houston, Indy. The NFC West, I already talked about that. So NFC West and AFC South, I'm telling you, man, these teams are very, very, it's a very, very competitive league right now. Very competitive league. All right, so we got the 49ers and the Titans. I said the 49ers was going to beat the Titans 26-3. And the 49ers beat the Titans 37-24. I'm surprised the Titans put up that many points on the 49ers defense. I really am. I'm curious to see what Cam Ward did. Cam Ward was solid. He was efficient. He's getting better. That's all we need. We didn't need to see him getting better closing out the year. He has a few games left. He can enter his offseason right after these next few games, after these 3 games. And this is what I want to see. 18 completions out of 29 yards, 170 yards, 62.1 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns. That's solid. That's efficient. That's what we want to see out of our young quarterback against a very dominant, stout defense like the 49ers. Tony Pollard, 14 carries, 104 yards, 1 touchdown. That's solid. Him, he had 4 catches, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Okay, man. It's looking good. Brock Purdy was 23 for 30, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was very efficient. He played very, very well. Christian McCaffrey, 22 carries, 273 yards, 1 touchdown. Ricky Pearsall, 6 catches, 96 yards. George Kittle, 8 catches, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Jennings had 2 touchdowns, 3 catches, 37 yards, 2 touchdowns. So yeah, they were very, very solid. Very solid performance by both teams. It was unfortunate that the Titans lost, but hey, Cam Ward he played all right. So the NFC West, I already went over the NFC West. I don't know if I can go that again. All right, and then so that concludes all of my Sunday games. And then the next game, Monday Night Football, we got. I think Monday Night Football is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Miami Dolphins. Nobody really, that could be a kind of a competitive game. I said the Steelers is going to beat the Dolphins 23-5. And then on top of that, Thursday Night Football, the Rams and the Seahawks. I'm going to say that the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks is going to beat the Rams. I think the Seahawks is going to beat the Rams. Let's say I'm going to say 35, 36, 29. I'm going to say Seattle 36, Rams 29 for Thursday Night Football. So tomorrow, you got Monday Night Football. I'll do my recap for tomorrow night. Talk about that game, the Dolphins and the Steelers. We go deeper into that game, deep analysis, breakdown, everything. My thoughts on that game. Steelers and the Dolphins. I could definitely watch that game. Because I don't have class or work or anything. So, but yeah, I got the Steelers beating the Dolphins 23-5. Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football. Seahawks beating the Rams 36-29. So that's all I got for you all tonight. We went 2 hours. I think this is the longest I've ever did a video. So it was fun. It was exciting. And we're just going to keep it chopping, man. We're going to keep talking about these games, keep breaking down these games. I'm going to do my hardest, do my absolute best to give you as much value that I can about this game of football, about the NFL. If you're an NFL fan, you're a football fan, this is going to be the platform, the channel for you, because this is what we call reality sports here. Eventually, in time, I will seep into college, do more journalism with college, and then even journalism with high school. And then, I'll get into boxing. So I think I want to start watching boxing and other sports. I'm going to handpick to talk about, I don't think I'm going to talk about all sports. If the demand is in need for that, I will do that. I don't have a problem doing that, talking about all sports. But right now, we're going to keep it strictly football for now. And then I think the next sport outside of football, because I'm going to do all levels of football. But then the next sport outside of football, it will definitely, I think it will be boxing. I'm going to start talking about boxing. Because I do study martial arts and stuff and everything. So boxing and MMA. So yeah, so that's all I got. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your support and for subscribing and even commenting and getting into the live chat, some of you. So that tells me that I have people who's watching and you're appreciating what I'm putting out. And it's only going to get better from here. And we'll be back tomorrow night for our Monday night recap. And I thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe all day. Deuces.